Oh, hello. Welcome to today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. May 12th edition. Whole day. And what happened today, you ask? In 1929, the film Man with a Movie Camera premiered, directed by Decay May, but he was part of the Kino Eye. That was a combination of him, his wife, and their partner that felt like they were a filmmaking machine, quite literally. That like futurism was the next step of evolution on this planet, was that machines were going to take over the Earth, and that we were going to leave this weak flesh, and they themselves were part of that larger machine, that were a filmmaking machine, and Man with the Movie Camera personified that. Is that the right word? How do you say? I don't know, maybe. But anyway, the movie's great. Do check it out. On the day it premiered in 1929, Jess Franco also premiered today, 1930. What an interesting career he had. Venus in Furs, Vampires Lesbos, She Killed in Ecstasy, Count Dracula. I mean, that is like just a drop in the water as far as his career goes. He just kept going and going. It's pretty fascinating. She Killed in Ecstasy, I think, is my favorite one, starring Soledad Miranda, who tragically died very early on, and I think was his like muse. And I wonder if that didn't have something to do with his career not continuing in a stable way, because he decided he loved filmmaking and was going to continue and continue and continue, even if he didn't have a script, and even if he didn't have a crew or a cast or a budget. And so throughout the 80s, I mean, he's just like, there's like nothing to work with, and yet he just keeps going. It's pretty impressive, I gotta say. But highly suggest his late 60s and early 70s stuff. Venus in Furs, especially cool. Yeah, early 70s Jess Franco is surprisingly good, considering what probably catches your eye later on in his career. That is a highly divisive opinion. People feel very strongly one way or another. And that's my take on that topic. Bob Burns, born today, 1935. Love Bob Burns. Big regret of mine that I have not, my paths never crossed. I never got to visit his house. Because he was, much like Forrest J. Ackerman, a huge fan of monster movies, sci-fi, classic Hollywood. All the movie magic resided at Bob Burns' house. He had the original prop that was the George Pal 1960s time machine. He had the War of the Worlds UFO craps, all sorts. I mean, this is a legend who's just, hanging out talking about King Kong because he loves it. Yeah, I have his book here somewhere, and I couldn't find it to use as an example. Maybe next year. Meanwhile, the year 2020, why, it was the first day on May 12th for today's Decay. In the height of COVID lockdown, when I was very much telecommuting, and every day just kind of melded into one another, I decided, let me take this calendar that I made for the Midnight Monster Hop years ago, which had all the, births and beginnings of everything already written out that I'd spent a long time doing, like 10 years ago or more, maybe, I don't know. And using that to structure my day around, structure our day around. And maybe perhaps to a degree you have then structured your day around this, because I think it's important and inspirational. And like what happened, when things start, you never know how it's going to go. Did I think today's Decay was going to still be going 4 years later? Well, there was really no thought put into it at all. So, no, I didn't. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Now I think we're just doing it because it's like the right thing to do. Right? Right. Anyway, that's it from us to you. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.